College.
And it is really tough to be an American right now, but it's even tougher if you're from the Middle East and living in the U.S. KWQC's Don Smith joins us now live from the newsroom with one local man's story. Don?
Sharon, ever since the terrorist attack, there's been a sadness over the nation. But as people struggle to cope with the devastation, many others are being hit with a strong racial backlash. I spoke with a Muscatine man today who was targeted after the tragedy.
I was really surprised to find these messages on my answering machine.
When John DeBeat went to check his phone messages yesterday afternoon, he couldn't believe his ears. 3 threatening voices on his answering machine, all a result of the terrorist attack.
Somebody said that it's better for you to leave the country, leave the United States, because if you don't, we'll find you and get you, and we'll come and get you.
DeBeat also received several harassing emails. This is one of them. But he says he's a Palestinian native with American citizenship, working for years with the Americans and Palestinians for Peace group. And although many celebrated the attack in his country, DeBeat says he does not share the same views.
It doesn't take me time to condemn and strongly condemn any terrorist act against anybody. Whoever did what they did yesterday definitely, I think, deserve punishment.
DeBeat says indirectly he's also a victim of the terrorist attack and hopes the people who made the threats will soon be brought to justice.
We have to be different and act different and be responsible for what we say and what we do.
Right now, DeBeat is working with Muscatine police to find the people responsible for the hate messages. He says this whole situation will make him work even harder to bring peace to the community. Reporting live in the newsroom, Dawn Smith, KWQC, TV6 News.
It's really unfortunate to see people like him targeted.
That's for sure.
All right, thank you, Don. Gary?
Sharon, for a reaction on this tonight, we are joined by our Middle East expert and political analyst, Dr. Bob Cyber. Dr. Bob, you watched that story with me. What is your initial reaction to that?
Well, it makes me kind of heartsick. Obviously, here's a man who has worked hard to try to reduce tensions between the Arabs and the Israelis to make peace, and he has to pay a price for it later. The fact of the matter is, and it's unfortunate, but the Arabs are probably the last ethnic group in the United States that people feel free to kind of demean and attack and make fun of. Hopefully, since their numbers are fairly substantial, we'll get to a day where they'll have the same kind of sympathy and treatment that other members of our society do. But we've got a ways to go.
And for now, it's not easy to be a person from the Middle East?
No, it's not. It's not. And, you know, it's not the first time this has happened. During the Gulf War, in a community not too far from here, students that just looked Arab were in fact attacked, you know, called Iraqis, Iranians, as a matter of fact, who are not. So, you know, we've got some learning to do, and maybe we can make some progress on that.
And part of this is based on fear, and Americans have a tendency to want some quick answers. Now, politically, this is dangerous territory to go for quick solutions.
Yeah, it is. We often get the wrong answers if we go too quickly. And if you get the wrong answers and you act on that, you can do damage to your reputation internationally. You can hurt people who are innocent. There are a lot of downside to this. There's a lot of long-term advantage to being patient and being careful as you put the evidence together. And I think that's what we're doing.
Last question for you, Dr. Bob. Talking with your students at Knox College about this today, what do you get a sense of their feeling about now and about the future?
You know, I think they're a little perplexed about some things because the future until this point in time has looked so promising to them. Particularly the kind of future that you associate with the trade towers, you know, a high-tech future, a future in the financial world. And then suddenly this kind of comes crumbling down in more ways than one. But I think they'd like to understand why. This is the question I get. It's not what happened so much, they can handle that, but why did it happen, and who are these people, and why do they have this kind of animosity toward us? And that's not an easy question to answer.
Question a lot of Americans are asking tonight, and will be for some time to come.
I think so.
Dr. Bob, thanks for your insights. Sharon, back to you.
That's what many people wonder now, that